My apology for hitting the button and disconnecting, and I will move forward. But as we see in the Helps Word Studies, silence means to be humble, in other words. So it is to live a life of order, to do right by others, okay? So it's in light of, never against. And a lot of people say study to be silent as opposition. So see the spirit behind it when they say that. It's a spirit of trying to quiet you, so that you do not be a voice and bring out what the gospel says to bring out. Clearly the gospel says to teach, to preach the gospel to all. Okay, so that's evangelism. So both men and women in this context of evangelism can do that. You can always talk to your neighbor, a student, anyone in school, work, and tell of God's, God, of the gospel of God. Okay, and it's never and it's in light of and never against, unless the context shows or says that it's in opposition of. Okay, so silence is not forever unless you choose that. Okay, if you choose to be silent, that's your choice. We're free-willed agents. So don't choose to be silent. Okay, choose to be a voice and speak out what the word says to do. Okay, so when people say that phrase, the context of what they mean is in opposition to you. Like I said, they want to shut you up. So sorry for repeating that, but I'm going ahead of what I even wrote. So 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, okay, says, preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, and exhort, okay, with complete patience, a teaching. So that is proof right there, that you are supposed to be saying what the gospel says you can say to all, whether you're in season, which we define season as a period or a time, especially if it's a period or time of silence. Even during that time, it says, preach the word, be ready in season and out of season. So this means you could be in the season of silence, but if someone comes to you and wants to learn of the word, you are to teach them. Okay, you don't say, hush, I'm in a season of silence right now. I cannot touch that. I cannot talk to you. I can't spread the gospel right now. The devil is a liar. You get your Bible and you teach them what you know, what you're knowledgeable in pertaining to the word. You teach them. Okay? You talk to them. You evangelize. Okay? I'll say it like that. And as we all know, teaching requires your voice. So there it is. Okay? You cannot teach or spread the gospel without your mouth. Okay? And I'm not talking about using sign language. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those that are able to and have a voice to speak forth the word. You do just that. Okay? You never allow anyone to shut you up. You know if you're in a season of silence. If you're not, you speak it forth. Don't let anyone else tell you that. God will give you confirmation if that is so. And not only to others, but to you also. Okay? So, silence is not included when preaching the good news. And preaching means announcing. So let's be clear on that, what that means. Announcing. That doesn't mean I'm saying stand up and preach, in the pulpit. That means it within your community, within society, okay? If leaders are going to quote something, this is coming from me. It is beneficial to explain what you mean or be silent, okay? And in my context, I literally mean that. So if you're going to present a word, explain what that word means. Why are you saying that? Don't just say it and leave it out in the open, okay? Because we have the power to bring forth life or death through our tongue. So be careful what you're receiving, that people are telling you or saying. Catch the subliminals. You hear me? And on social media, in person, on the phone, via text, email, messenger, catch it. Because if you know you're studying, you are able to speak that, okay? So you are allowed to speak all what is in the word. Your silence denies God, because you won't speak his word. And he says if you deny him, he will deny you. Okay? So they don't want correction. This is why they tell you to be silent. They don't want to be corrected. Or they see something in you that they just despise. Okay? It is not a good spirit. So discern. You need to ask God for discernment. I want you to read Luke chapter 8 and 39, 2 Timothy 1 and 8, and Psalms 119 and 46, okay? So, Mark 16 and 17 also. And all of these require your voice. Physical voice. Okay? So people are upset when you come out of your silence. Okay? They get upset. That's okay. The word says we will face persecution. Okay? So don't worry about that. You stand firm in the faith. You stand firm on the word. Okay? Break through that barrier. All right? And I will end on 1 Peter chapter 2 and 15 from the NASB. It says, "For such is the will of God, that by doing right you may silence the ignorant of foolish men." So do right. Silence them by giving them the will of God, which is the gospel. All of the gospel is in his will. Okay? You speak the word. Don't let them silence you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to end on. I believe that was everything. Yes, so be a voice. Preach, evangelize the gospel to one another, okay? And don't see the spirit behind when people telling you to be silent, okay? That's all I have. And I thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.